There, now we're live. Hi, everybody. Ask Patty Chewy, who's on screen with us.
Oh, there we are.
Who's on screen with us.
There we go. I had to look after it now that it's loaded up so that there's no crosstalk between volumes.
That would be why I wasn't able to pin the link, because it wasn't showing us live yet.
Yeah. So how are you doing today?
Oh, pretty good. I had a really late stream last night. We didn't finish till 5 in the morning here.
Oh, yeah.
But it was fun. We had a good time last night. I'm happy that today's a little quiet in my neighborhood. Come on, stop that.
Hey, Atkins. Ian, how are you?
Hi, Ian.
So how are your fishies doing?
So this are doing pretty good. Been out and about more. Did lose a crevasse yesterday or the day before. The adults beat up the main pair beat up one of the younger adults, and I think must have damaged the swim bladder because it was bent in half and struggling.
So how is life around Buffalo now? Is it straightening out at all or what?
Oh, we had a lot of fireworks over the last couple of days, and our entertainment events are starting to really open up again. So the places like Art Park and things like that that do our summer concerts, they're starting to get a schedule together. So that's nice.
Yeah, I hear that most of the major artists are not touring until 2022, but there
Yeah,
are
well,
some that are going out at the end of this year.
that's the problem, By the time they decided that they were going to open up, either the headliners that they would normally have coming in are already committed elsewhere, or they can't commit because the schedule is ever changing this year, just because they're
Or,
trying to get somebody to do a
or the
concert.
government won't let them out without having a 2 week period of them coming back in.
Yeah, and that's a big issue also.
So
Um,
it's
I'm
been
really hoping that the border will open up soon.
it's been ridiculous out here because I was supposed to be moving out to Victoria 2 years ago. It's COVID has like ruined my life for 2 years.
Oh yeah, I know somebody who was in a situation where they're engaged to be married to somebody in Canada,
Yeah,
and they haven't been able to see them for more than a year
yeah,
because they've been stuck up in Canada.
yeah. The wear and tear, the wear and tear of what
Hi, Haley and Lynn. Glad
this
to see you tonight.
situation has done to us, right? But
Oh, yes.
it just proves to me that you don't have to be big to be an invasive species.
Oh, yes. And another thing that is very irritating is the fact that I understand that they need to open things up and they want to do things safely and all that. But I don't understand why there was such a big push to get hair salons and bars back up and running when they're keeping other things that are daily living still regulated to the point where, stores that used to be 24-hour stores are still closed at 10 o'clock. You can't get a decent meal here in Buffalo after 10 o'clock.
They just don't want
Everybody is closed unless you want fast food.
They just don't want to deal with the numbers of people that are out in the public in any country right now.
And I'm also worried that once this all kind of simmers down and we're not thinking about so ever present every day, I'm worried that these companies are going to say, you know what? We went more than a year without during those hours. Not going to agree for those hours.
Yeah.
And they've come up with so many hands-free ways of dealing with the public that a lot of people might not have jobs.
Yep. I was actually expecting that. Because our nation is over.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with the job market going forward. How much of it has become automated and won't go back to the way it used to be.
But yeah, when you can't even travel in your own province due to restrictions, it's ridiculous. But what can you do about it?
Yeah.
How's it going?
Oh, pretty good. Oh, I love it.
All good. How's life, Ian?
Going all right. Just hanging out, doing tank maintenance today, and a little bit tomorrow before I go back out for work.
What kind of clowns?
What a nice Kobe you got there. And I see the Australia stars on the back wall.
Oh, he looks like a normal clownfish.
Yeah, he's just a regular Ocellaris.
Yeah, I like regular kind of wild type.
Sorry, Jen, I'm here.
Hi, Kevin.
About time
We
you
were able to make it up on screen.
Sorry.
I see you joined the American Killifish Association, Kevin.
Oh, yeah, I did.
There you go.
He's got me researching it next month for joining, I think.
What?
Are you learning anything?
I talked to you, and you sent us a text about the information and the membership fees.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure next month I'm going to pull the trigger and get my own membership next month.
Yeah. Well,
Because right now I actually have 4 different species of killifish. So I really need to join the AKA to learn more.
a lot of them are tough to come by, especially the endangered species from Africa, per se. But they're very, very hard to come by from the trade of the industry because they don't breed in large numbers. Like a cichlid that they can keep in the marketplace for a long time and overflood the market.
But what I don't understand is
overflood the marketplace.
what I don't understand is why is it so hard to get the killifish when A, they're eggs, so it should be easy to transport them, and B,
It's
they reproduce like every day, almost every day.
it's getting them out of
That's why
nature.
I'm getting tired of people,
When you
especially on a
are
night shift.
West Africa and the politics of West Africa alone, it makes
Got it.
importing fish very, very tough.
But what about the native killifish?
What about them?
Why is it so hard to even find native killifish then? I understand that African killifish, but what about here?
You can find a lot of native killifish in the U.S.
But it's
But
hard to find.
a good example is the golden topminnow. Like
Okay,
that
that's true.
is
Oh, I love
over.
it with that lighting on it,
Ooh, that
making
is.
the green pop out.
Is that your new saltwater, Ian?
Yeah, it's about 3.5 months old. So it's
Okay,
nice.
your new ish
Wow, I am good on
saltwater
this.
tank.
I need to get the coral started in my saltwater tank.
Sorry,
Just pop.
Ian. New meaning. I don't think I've seen it yet.
Try some easy ones like green star polyp. This is large polyp xenia, Kenya tree,
Yeah,
pulsing xenia.
I like the
I mean, they.
feather.
I mean, unless you got like a puffer, and I think you do have a puffer if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, I have Valentini puffer, which has um, they have the elongated beak-like mouth, so they get coral. So I'm actually going to move that one over to the other tank,
Yeah.
which will leave a blue, a goby, and a the ocellatus clownfish. And I want to get at least one more goby.
The only killifish that I can think of that is common in the hobby that I've seen is kind of hard to get, and it's a regular species from what I've been seeing, is these are flagfish.
Pretty fishy.
Yeah, where have you been, Jess? I haven't seen you on these late night ones lately, or all that much. I see you once in a while, but
Yeah, with you too, Josh. I haven't been able to catch a morning doe in a while. I really need to alarm it. Make sure I do. Or either that or I've got to catch you on the later night with Chubb. That was a beautiful rainbow fish.
Thank you. I don't know where the wild one is really coloring up.
Yes, he is.
And my macaw cichlid starting to grow his little nipple hump.
sorry, Patty.
5-3 Aquatics. Hello. And I'm going to murder your name again. I believe. Shanna?
Oh, Shanna, yes. Hello,
Yeah,
Shanna. I was actually talking to her earlier today.
Now, Jess, I think we all know how you know he got some killies.
Didn't I put out a video?
Yes, you did?
Patty. Yeah, that might be just a little bit difficult. Hello, Jenny Lynn.
Yep, my namesake. But I'm hoping that those eggs will come in from Thailand for the next month. Because I bought some killifish eggs from Thailand. And that's something that I need to find out about is the shelf life of killifish eggs. How long do they last? And do you have to hatch them all out at once, or can you only hatch a few times? Those are the questions I need Kevin to answer for me.
What?
What kind of fish is that?
That's an
Ian?
African butterfly.
Oh, that is pretty.
Yeah, a couple of these fish aren't feeling so good in these tanks. I don't know what's going on, but they're just a little clamped up recently. Hit them with some salt. That should do it. Did a water change yesterday when I came home. But yeah, he's a cool little fish.
Yeah, he is. I've never seen one of those before. Almost looks like a fish.
I think you are thinking that every killifish is the same, too. Not all eggs incubate.
All killifish are different. That's why I need to find out. Right now I have the bundle of Pantex gardery. 3 different kinds. I've got the Insuka, the Indiri, and the Lasagna. But I've also got the Trail.
Because the Lake Tanganyika killifish never sees a drought period.
Well, so there are annual and there are semi-annual, and then they also
Oh, wow.
They also spawn different ways, right? There's soil spawners, plant spawners, substrate spawners,
Cave spawners,
substrate,
like the
plant, and moss.
fish. They spawn like a cichlid. They just don't guard them.
Patty wants to know what kind of fish the white one is.
This one?
Yes.
That's a female golden wonder killifish.
Oh.
There's
Now that's a killifish.
There's the male. Yeah.
Mine was actually pretty peaceful, considering. I thought I was gonna have a problem with that.
Golden
It was
wonder
actually pretty
killifish.
peaceful.
That's
I mean, they're not really peaceful.
was in one of the tanks.
So did you get to know who you were dealing with on the in the American American Killifish Association, Kevin?
You mean who I bought them from?
Yes.
Yes. Whose tank does it come from?
It's always good to know who you're getting your fish from in associations too, because
So
they can tell you who has got relatives genetically speaking to try and keep a gene pool together when it comes to endangered species.
So I need
You don't
to
want to be breeding brother to sister and bad traits, right?
So I need to ask her again. Hello, GRB. But
Oh, how
I got them
beautiful.
from Jacqueline sent them to me. So I was talking to her, and I got those. They were the beginner killifish that I could get, but for some reason the AKA doesn't have any other killifish you can buy right now. The only ones are the beginner killifish that you get when you sign up, but those are the only ones that I saw. And I was hoping to get more different types of killifish, but
You basically have to reach out to tell people what you want as well. And to have
Well,
one of them explain to you
Kevin
why
was
it would add species for you. Right?
the auction website is currently under review.
what?
So that's why he told me that the auction website is currently under review.
That's what it said.
Oh, we lost him.
It says American Killifish Association Board of Trustees has temporarily suspended our fish auction site. We expect to be back in full service pending a BOT policy review.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I'm just hoping that I can get some later. But yeah, I do want some more killies. I just put my my killies in their own, the pair of killies in their own.
Whereas if I was looking for natives, Kevin, I'd be looking for things that are got right out of the wild. Like if I was to go out and look for, like, you know that there's two types of golden top minnows, right?
Yes.
There's
Isn't one of them native to
they're
the
both
U.S.?
natives. They're both
Or are they
natives.
both?
Okay.
Okay.
West. There is a population of what is called melanistic golden top minnows, which does not show a lot of the gold. It shows black. It's a color morph, is what it is. And then there's the regular orange type that is like a bigger population group. But both can be found in Florida, Louisiana, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it is a natural color difference within a species.
Yes. How do they have so many variations of the Gardnerite killifish?
Collection points is one, and then the other one is certain strains like the Gardneri, the Aphrodisian Gardneri, I do believe that it is. No, it's the Australe, the Aphrodisian Australe. There's a gold morph that was developed more in the hobby, okay? And then there's a color morph.
Got it.
Whether
I have the orange ones.
or not that golden morph appears in the wild, it would be hard to say, but I would think so. Because all that it is a mutation, a color mutation. And color mutations happen all the time in the wild.
Yeah.
However, I do like the way that the American killifish can actually point out where your fish was actually, like the population area of where your fish comes from.
Where the collection point was?
Yes, whereas when it comes to cichlids, it's all tied up in documentation for years. It's one thing that kind of really causes a lot of hybridization in the hobby.
Oh.
If two species are going under the same name and they're two different species, a lot of hybridization is going to occur if they both have the same synonym. Is it not going to happen, Kevin?
Okay, but
Like there's 4 different types of jewel cichlids that inhabit Florida a lot.
weren't we talking about one that was called the same thing like within the last week? I forget what it was.
It was on the care list. And she was very upset because there are these fish that are being the same that are not of the species, and it's
Yeah, but what was it?
frustrating to see the species when they're misnaming a fish. What was it?
There were 2 types of fish, but they were both under the same name, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was telling us about how bad that was for people wanting to do the right thing in the CARES program for breeding, because it's basically removing good stock out of the program because they're being crossbred with these ones that are identified, and then it runs the strain.
It's happening a lot in, let's say, the Alonocara species, where there are a few that are endangered, and all the females look the same in peacocks. So all of a sudden, everybody is going, "Oh well, we don't know what kind of female this is." Like this is part of the problems when you're trying to keep an endangered species.
Yeah, because you can't save the endangered species without having pure stock. But we were kind of is that for fish, it's really upon to crossbreed, and others like courage. So who's the one deciding which one should be encouraged to crossbreed and which one shouldn't? Any ideas?
What was the question? You got cut off a little bit.
Who is it that's making the decision as to what fish should be crossbred and which fish shouldn't be? Because some fish, they really encourage you to crossbreed and come up with their own strain variation, and other fish, they tell you, oh no, don't breed them. To do that would ruin the breed, and you're devil if you would. So who's making those decisions?
That is a very, very debatable subject. All on itself.
Well, that's what I know. Is there some authoritative board that makes decisions, or is it just something that's evolved through the hobby?
The hobby started with not a lot of knowledge in the scientific field, shall we say. Okay? And they are still like making subspecies and new genus groups out of fish that were identified before. Okay? Like that's what's happened in Malawi a lot. Okay, like there were only a few genuses when it started. All of a sudden, you're having to relearn the genus types of Lake Malawi alone as a hobbyist. Okay? This is the part that science has not really let the hobbies know a lot about it because the collectors are going out collecting the fish, but they basically are not told the areas where they come from. There's a lot of misidentification of fish species. Even Dan said so on his last stream. He goes, "I tried my best to name the fish that I have, but there's certain ones that I don't know." Right?
Well, yeah, I had that problem where I bought a piece of a plant on it, and I put it, went to go take it out of the bag and pour it into a bucket to make sure that there was nothing on it that shouldn't. As I did, tiny little, and I called my fish store, talked to them, and I said, "Oh, you're welcome." And it said, "But what is it?" I finally just a year later found another one of the tanks and said, "That's what the fish I have," and it's a rock catfish. But to identify that, I put up pictures, and it's too hard to identify just by looking at pictures for other people. I actually had to see it in the store, and yep, that's exactly what it looked like when it came in the house. So I can definitely see misidentification is really easy.
Well, there is a fish in Lake Tanganyika that's a scale eater, okay? And it is in like the Jewels of the Rift documentary. And you see this fish bite off the scales of a fish that looks entirely similar.
Larry?
Okay. There are two different species in a genus.
Hi, kids.
Hey, Larry.
And fish can look very, very similar, especially in their young age. Like, think of how hard it is to identify the 5 known species of tigerfish from Africa. When they're young, there's not too much of a difference. There's the odd bit of a difference. But unless you've got 5 pictures of those 5 species, you're not even close. And then they got 5 other undescribed species. So they could be those 5 species as well. Right?
That is very difficult. Getting juvenile fish that can't identify because they don't color up. You are high, dear.
However, the saying the cichlids rule the lake, I don't believe that. I believe your top apex predator is going to rule the lake. So I think the tigerfish rule Africa, period.
Hey, Jenny Lynn, been a while. Hey, Patty.
When you're the apex predator and all you got to be afraid of is crocodiles, I think you don't worry about anything in that river system, and they don't.
When I got home, I thought Jen wasn't going to have the stream, so I didn't even check. I went to try my new computer, and I'm tired, and it's not working, and I'm not going to work on it while I'm tired, because that's when you fuck up.
Yep. Good plan.
Yeah. And I'm just sweating like crazy. It's the housemates did not have the AC on, so it is warm and humid inside the house. It'll take a while for the AC to catch up.
I actually had to the AC in the front door to let some of the humidity in the house out. Because it was getting too sticky in this tonight. It wasn't hot, but it was feeling real sticky. So I think we have something to dehumidifier.
It's humid tonight. It's supposed to rain.
Kevin, have you ever seen my favorite tigerfish species?
Which type?
You've heard of the Goliath tigerfish that Jeremy Wade caught in Africa in the Congo.
I don't think so.
Oh, this thing's a monster. It's got alligator type teeth. Okay? They live over in Africa and over in all of the waterways in Africa. It's the big predator family, okay? Like, we're talking 4 feet long fish, okay? Like, you cannot even get them in your... You cannot get them in California, you cannot get them in Utah, you cannot get them in Texas, and you cannot get them in Florida because they're an automatic. They'll kill everything in the waterways. The only things that have a chance is alligators against that.
So they're invasive. They'd be invasive.
They would be invasive. They're prohibited. You cannot.
But invasive is not native to the
Yeah. They're not invasive. They are prohibited because they already know what they could do in that kind of waterway.
But they would be invasive if they
Exactly. It's a government.
if they got into the wild. Yes.
If they got into,
that's what I meant. They would be invasive if they got into the wild.
meanwhile, up in Canada, we can keep every one of them. And if you're in like Buffalo, New York, you can keep them too. Okay? Because it's too cold. They come from Africa, right? But the southern states and California, Utah, they're all banned. You know, desert area, they'd be banned. You know, but they are a beautiful, like the striped tigerfish is a beautiful, beautiful fish. It's got black and white kind of racing dots down the side with big red fins at the back. Like just ultimate tropical predator.
And where are they native?
The tigerfish family are native to rivers and lakes of Africa. It depends upon the species. Like the Goliath lives in the Congo River. The striped live in several rivers south of that, and they also live in Tanganyika. The Goliath.
I know how you have passed on a few fish recently myself,
Like the family is an African fish. It never got out of Africa, thank goodness.
Well, I would hope not, considering how invasive it would be if it got out of Africa.
Yeah. Like it's safe in places like Russia and Canada. Like it's a laugh, you know. Like, oh, we get to keep those. You know. Whereas a guy like
a lot of things you get to keep it, but you also are not allowed to have medications now either.
whereas a guy like Rodrigo from Predatory Fins down in Florida, no matter how much he would want that predatory animal, he can't own one in Florida. He would have to move.
Yeah, I find it really funny that where these animals are actually local in the low waterways, they're considered to be not allowed in the hobby. If you go one state over, They don't have the white access to it. They have them. And it just seems so odd, you know. I think that the place that they actually live would be the place that you would allow them before someplace that they don't.
Whereas I always have believed if you cannot feed the pet,
Ah, Travis, hi.
don't buy the pet.
Hello, Travis.
Yeah, is that what is the reason they're going to go with wild catching?
And when a species of fish needs a foot-long fish for its breakfast and its supper, that's when I go, no, I can't afford that. Like, this thing feeds on foot-long tilapia.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's more feed than us to feed myself. It's time to say,
Like, I know a guy that owns a vampire tetra that gets fed a tilapia or a big fish a day. It's either a goldfish or a tilapia. And that gets expensive after a while.
oh yeah.
Like, Asian arowanas get kind of expensive too after a while.
Well, those are just so big and they are tank busters. They do stay in their tank.
Yeah, like I wouldn't own any of these fish unless I had 2,000-gallon tank. And it would be
Yeah,
just that fish. in the
arowana is not guaranteed safe
That would be a
because they
mistake.
jump.
Hey, GRB. Hey, Shanna. Hey, Travis.
Because those kind of
Jenny,
fish
I
are
said hi.
bred in pools.
What did I say?
You know, they're not bred in an aquarium. They're bred in the pools. That's how come, you know, like we really do not see any big fish on the CARES program because it's all fish that people can theoretically keep in smaller aquariums. It's just that the
Yeah, it makes me wish that they would do the same thing with these big fish as they do with like the African gray parrots. That they don't allow you to buy them unless you have the plan in place of what's going to happen. If something happens to you, who's going to take that animal?
yeah, but you're dealing with an animal that two different terms of animal lifetime for like a Goliath tigerfish is going to maybe live like about 25 years, whereas an African gray parrot can live up to 80 years.
Yeah, but if you're 40 years old when you buy that fish that's going to become 5 years old,
Yeah.
if it's taken care of well, you pass before that fish does.
Well, at the pet shop that I used to work at, I knew I could get any size of fish I want. Okay.
Yeah,
But it's our general rule. If it was like Oscars were the fine line of it. Like we were like debating about Oscars for a while because like they go over a foot long.
Hey,
hi,
Danny.
Danny.
Creatures of the night.
Can,
Yeah, they got some at
And fish
a
goes
fish store that are about 10 inches big.
and when a fish grows that big, where it can't even swim in a 75-gallon when it's full size, side to side, right? then you know that you need
Yep.
a big tank. And how many people out there have got a 150-gallon tank to keep the 12-inch husband? That is
Yeah,
the tank size
exactly.
that most
On 12-inch Oscar.
doctors suggest. So we
Yeah, when we
have,
were at the store the other day, someone was looking for a large size because apparently their pleco had passed away, and they've got migratory fish in there, and you can't buy the little guy that's in the regular tanks. He needs to buy what somebody hit in because it's outgrown their tank.
Yeah.
Which is one of the great things about local fish store. They do that.
well, the
They
common
buy that because
is
they have
probably-
a actual section of fish that are those larger fish, so that when people have ponds or the big tanks, and one of them dies off, you can't put a baby in there. Put something of equal size and hopefully equal temperature. So they actually do encourage people to come back rather than trying them themselves.
well,
Because
I think
everybody will say, "Oh, it's a cool Oscar. Yeah, I'll take it." And then a couple months later, when they figure out, wait, I killed all my fish, now they want to get rid of it.
well the thing about any fish that grows to over a foot long, it is
We lost Steve again.
very hard to deal with. Very hard.
Yeah,
Okay? Up to about 10 inches, you're kind of like you're playing with it, okay? But once it grows past a foot long, not very many people have got the tanks to rehome that fish.
Yeah, our local fish store has people that look for the big fish, so they know
Yeah.
they can help rehome big ones. I saw the biggest Oscar I had seen last week at the local fish store. I was shocked it got that big.
The thing is that you know about it, but you don't want to encourage it. Like, when I see
well,
your typical
they do
mom,
people when they buy them, it's what size it. But of course, somebody's going to say, "I'm going to get a bigger tank." It gets that big. Let's face it. All of us know it happens. The fish is faster than you planned on, or your finances don't allow you to get a bigger tank, or your house just doesn't have room. So it happens. But yeah, they don't encourage you to buy a fish and bring it back.
the problem
They
that
do
I
try to
see
do as much as possible.
all the time is you got these fish like patus and red-tailed catfish being brought in at young age sizes where they are like really cute little catfish. But the person that is selling it doesn't know anything about the fish.
Right. Doesn't know that it's going to get
Now,
2
see,
feet long.
this place,
Yeah.
they know. They actually have a red-tailed catfish and a common
Yes,
customers that are over 3 feet long in a tank. They say, "Look, that fish is that big."
the wholesaler that I worked with in my youth, we had a 3 foot long red-tailed cat. Okay? We knew what the fish was. Did we ever bring in any at small sizes to sell to the public? No.
No, because you already had a clue. You did
Yeah.
research beforehand. A lot of
Yes.
people don't.
Special order. You want one? You special order it. You prove to us that you have a tank that is 2,000 gallons.
Yeah, our local fish store asks.
Yeah.
And the chair,
Jen, you keep breaking
Oh.
up.
I could.
he says it's an endless
I could get you a 3 foot arowana direct out of South America if I wanted. But the thing is how many people have got a tank big enough? I think
Very
240
few.
are too small.
We have a 180. I can't imagine something that big
Yes,
even trying to fit in there.
yes. 3 feet. You
Oh,
know,
Tanny, I looked up. I thought that said enchilada, and I went, "What? You want an enchilada? What? Not what I, not what you wrote."
there are lots of little fish that need more attention than a 4 foot long red-tailed shark. I mean, red-tailed catfish. You know,
That's one. Always, every time Jen comes over to the big tank, they have a whole wall converted to a tank.
yeah,
For the it's almost 4 feet long and the 2 foot common pleco.
yeah,
But this red tail comes right up to her, turns itself sideways and goes up against the glass so that Jen can rub its belly through the glass. It recognizes her when she comes in. Ooh, it's the guy,
oh
person who wants to rub my belly.
yeah, yeah.
She
Well,
can't put her hand in or anything to really do it, but it always moves up.
you could probably get away with putting your hand in with a red-tailed catfish.
No, it's an enclosed wall, so
I wouldn't want to be doing it with a vampire tetra or a Goliath
no.
fish. I wouldn't even want to do that with red belly piranhas, which I have done.
Yeah, I'm not going near a piranha, even a single one.
But I would never put my hand into a tank with a black piranha. Those things are,
No,
they've got red eyes.
cool.
They are the most beautiful piranha in the world as far as I go.
I
But
don't think any piranha is very pretty.
and vicious. Predators have their look. You know, look at the barracuda. Look at that streamlined body. You had cars named after that fish
Yeah.
because of its beauty.
Ian, you have wings? Man, you're not going to share? As you can tell, I'm hungry.
But I wouldn't want to own one of them either. They get a little bit bigger.
Okay.
You know that there's so many different species of barracuda around the world. And
I knew there were several. I didn't know there were a lot.
there's 23 in total.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that many.
Yes.
Any better, Larry, than you?
Yes. So far.
And it's the one fish that divers don't like running up against.
A the barracuda or the piranha?
The barracuda.
Yeah.
Like, I know people that have gone swimming with black piranhas in the Amazon, in the Rio Negro. You know,
What's up, Sean?
you just have to be aware that you got to be quite a distance away from them because they've got their own boundary, right? Like they're not really hunting you, but if you kind of disturb them, they'll come after you. That kind of thing.
Yeah. Or if they feel threatened in some way.
Most of your piranha types of deaths are caused by people standing on figure eight things, and the spine goes into them, and that draws blood, and then all of a sudden, all of your predators are there for the blood.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
See, I went out for tacos yesterday and I had beef and cheese tacos. No tomato, sour cream. and I got lettuce and tomato. So I feel your pain.
Ah, man, and there's no Mighty Tacos around that do 24-hour anymore.
So
Never work.
that must be bad.
Mighty Taco, not a 24-hour place.
No, the one over by you is not, and the one over by me. They both close by midnight. Something about some virus and pandemic or something. I don't
No,
understand.
they have all closed at midnight.
The one by
Because
me was
used to work at Mighty Taco,
the one near me
and I'd
used to be
coming home from
24
the
hour.
bar after closing. I would go to the bar after closing down Mighty Taco. Be on my way home from the bar and have the Mighty Taco commercial come on, telling people to go to Mighty Taco. And it's like, yeah, go ahead, because nobody's there.
The one around the corner from my house for a long time was 48 hour. Or 48 was 24 hour. Back when you worked there, I mean, it was just, Roman Empire days. They didn't have it 24 hour.
Oh, and not the Egyptians. You're just
Like,
going back.
Yeah, it was hieroglyphs on the menu board for the drive-through chariots.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I worked at Taco back when they had words, not pictures.
They still don't know what words mean at Taco Bell. Ew.
The Roman
Many of these
culture
fast
traditionally
nowadays, their registers are actually pictures of the food and not the words.
Yeah, Taco Bell. They called the cops on somebody trying to pay with $2 bills, claiming that they were trying to pass fake money. Freaking idiots.
The Roman Empire certainly went through a lot of drastic cutting periods. Look at
So any of you like the Rio, lettuces, like
Crunchy water?
the other one, the one that has peppery flavor.
Oh, so kind of.
Arugula. Yeah, that's sweet, Danny.
Spinach is okay. It's one of the few green vegetables I'll eat.
Because this won't allow us to have any sauce.
Sean. That was funny.
spinach is great, man. You can actually feed it to your
Oh,
fish.
yeah. But it's too good. I do that for myself. Actually,
Jen,
I have a friend that finished gave me some friend from the market.
Jen, did you put any of that
What,
chopped up leftover cucumber in any of the tanks?
No,
Because I'll bet they'll like that.
no, they would actually prefer the green pepper.
You know? Well, there's a hint to feed them. Nice little snack.
So tomorrow I'll pick up a new one and feed them one. Because I need to get lettuce mix. Because I left over at Donald's house. He can make salads without over. Lettuce
Silly person.
That's part of Saturday. And I prefer fresh when I want.
Remind me, I have to text Terry tomorrow so I can get my belt pouch back.
Yeah, you.
And what?
I can get that.
Okay, is it me or is it her?
It's her. It's her. You're still breaking up. Badly.
For once, it's not
I'm
me.
on headphones. Last I can.
I'm sorry, are you on the webcam microphone or this laptop's microphone?
I'm using the phones.
Using the headset. Huh. Maybe unplug and replug them?
Could
Or
it be her
unplug them, put them in
Wi-Fi, or
another?
is she an Ethernet?
She's
Go out
hardwired.
and come back in.
Okay. She had headphones on. Good wired Jabra headphones, so they should not have any problems.
But I'm wondering if it might be her Wi-Fi or is it wired?
It's wired. She wires in.
Her computer, her laptop is wired?
Yeah. She plugs it in next to the modem, next to the router.
Yeah, then she shouldn't have problems.
No, she shouldn't. That's why the basic tech support reboot. Get out, get it back in.
I know. Is my sound good?
Talk to us, oh hairless one. Oh, wrong movie.
Is mine good? Is my audio cutting in and out, or is my audio good?
Kevin, yours is fine. Jen, say something.
I said Kevin's audio fine.
I could tell, Jen, that you're the sound of the water in the background cutting in and out on yours.
Yeah, it's very faint, but you can hear the water.
Yeah, now you're good. And I think I see a. Oh. Yeah, I think I see a discus in the back. They're hiding on us again. Why? Why are they hiding on us? You bastards, get back up front.
Now, Larry. No need to start name calling.
I expect them to be acclimated within a half hour of being stuck in a brand new tank. Right now. Nah, it's her.
Then I don't wanna.
Weird.
I haven't said a word. How is it me?
I don't know. Your feed keeps. Your picture is perfect.
How are your discus doing, by the way?
They look great.
They're doing good.
It's fun. I walk in.
About this audio thing. Nothing I can do.
Yeah. They'll wander around the tank and go to like the front corners, and when I walk into the room, they go, "Oh dear," and they'll slowly. They won't scoot really fast, but they'll slowly go into the back, behind that wood and the plants, and hide. and
All
like
right.
one of them, one might come out.
Chewy, are you there? Take it that's a no. Okay.
There he is.
Oh, I'm here. Sorry, my mic was muted. Sorry.
No worries. So I'm curious if I'm gonna get some green, or I want to get some green Babalti, hoping to get some from either Jeffrey or someone else. What tank? What do you suggest? Dark substrate or light substrate?
For which fish?
Green Babalti, Caridina,
Um,
shrimp.
Yeah, I want some of them.
What color is the shrimp?
Green Babalti, Green Babalti Caridina.
I think they'd show it better with the light.
Yes, I would think that way too.
Yeah,
Light
regular like a
substrate.
white sand substrate.
Or
Yeah.
or or something that is light tan in color. Like
So,
a natural light tannish kind of gravel.
all right, because I have my Blue
You
Dream.
could do a natural stone.
Because I have my Blue Dream Neocaridina in the Super Naturals Carib Sea white sand. And so I'll probably stick them in that tank.
I am posting a link uh, in behind.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the guy who wrote this article, it's on TFH magazine. It's got to do with native fish, so it includes some killifish. Okay. The guy who wrote this article is a well-known photographer and one of the big wigs of the American Killifish Association. His
Okay.
name is Anthony Terciera. Okay, and Anthony, if I said your last name wrong, I'm not Italian, so forgive me. Okay, I don't speak it very well. Okay,
I got it.
okay, but he is a friend of several of my people that introduced me to him. Okay, that man knows more than any other person I know about killifish. A lot of the pictures from killifish books are taken by him. He judged the NEC conference photography show. Okay,
Wow.
just you know, okay, like he's a big wig. Okay, but I found that article to be fascinating. So I suggest that you read it because I just finished doing one of the killifish that was on that list, and they used it as a reference. So yes, that part of what I did, I knew was going to be true, right? You know, some of our native fish are actually quite fascinating. Like seeing two different colored populations of top minnows for one. You always see the gold, but you don't see the melanistic one.
Yes, Annie,
It's
options are
not
available.
common.
Appreciate. That is the article that you is. That's
Sean, it's safe. Mostly. I did not include any personal pictures.
Oh, do you have magazine subscriptions, Danny?
Do we have a magazine subscription to what?
Dan, Stan's fish quarters.
So, what did you guys do on the 4th of July?
Went to a friend's house where Jen did the grilling
Oh,
for a
yeah.
batch of us, and did my first playing on a what was it? A PlayStation? A racing game. He's got the full setup.
Well, I signed my life away.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
Well,
I hope you get a free ticket with it.
well, the thing is that it's been in the works for 3 years, and COVID has put a big damper on it. I did not think that I would be working as a senior citizen for my first year.
Huh.
I used to be an instructor at a tech school. Okay. For
Yeah.
sound, okay. Like I taught their live and the recording course. Well, I'm involved again. I'm now sort of like a professor.
Woohoo!
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Professor Chewy.
Yes,
Oh.
yes. Because I'm doing a lot of work for the Historical Society, and it involves a lot of narration, which I can't do anymore.
And it's really good that they have finally got somebody who actually lived in the Dark Ages to talk about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
That really helps. Sorry.
Would you actually like to see my first little project that I have to do for this? Like, I have to teach, okay? Okay? And I'm doing this project with the Historical Music Society of basically Western Canada, okay?
No, Sean. It tastes good.
And I give a really big plug, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I give a really big plug to Detroit Shrimp and Aquatics in this, okay?
Oh no.
Okay, do you want to know
Not
why?
him.
Do
Or
you
her. I
wanna
don't
know
know who
why?
it is.
You don't even know who he is. So zip
No, I
it.
don't.
Zip it, you.
Do you want to know why? He's
Why?
from Detroit. Now, where do the best cars come from? Detroit. Including,
Yugoslavia? Isn't that where the Yugo came
no,
from?
Detroit, okay? So, on our first 45 back in 1981, we had a 1956 Thunderbird convertible yellow.
Oh wow.
Okay, so like that's like a dinosaur car for 1981, but it was like the sports car, that kind of thing. Like they cost a lot of money nowadays. Okay, so
Danny, Twins for Hire. I keep answering that one ad, and they're not.
so I posted the link in behind there, but there's some really, really rare footage of the first ever orca whale in captivity. Hello?
Yeah.
Way back
Remember, Sean, this isn't mine.
way back in 1964.
Yeah, but but I thought they couldn't keep it for all that long.
It was shot by a harpoon, and that thing survived. It would not attack anything, including my hand in its mouth.
Dang, why you'd want to put your hand in their mouth? I'm not quite sure, but okay.
When you feed
Oh.
one, when you hand feed one, they are the most gentlest animal that you would ever be shocked with. The orcas off of the west coast don't attack man, they attack fish. You got a fish in your hand, it will let you pet its tongue.
Huh.
In the video, you will see my cousin feeding it.
Any better?
And that is the animal that got me into aquarium keeping. Can I have one? Can I take it home? No. You get guppies instead. How about that? Yeah. Okay. Imagine going through that with a 7-year-old.
All right.
So welcome to my world of 1981.
Cool beans.
The song by Kick-Ass was limited to 500 copies of the 45 it sold out. It got a lot of airplay at that time. Because of another thing that's coming up that I just finished today. Certain things that get hit right because of being on a radio station CD, right? And talent scouts back then would hunt you down.
Chewie, did you do anything to celebrate the friendship?
One more time, Jen.
I asked if Chewie had done anything to celebrate the festival.
Well, we have Canada Day, okay?
Right.
A lot of my Canada Day celebrations up until my accident was me working on Canada Day for a band that's playing on much music on various different concerts, okay? Like the other video in that video is by Lee Aaron in 1992. She was in Newfoundland, and meanwhile I'm over in Vancouver doing the broadcasting in Vancouver. Right? So you get hired by basically the PA and the unions and all of that sort of stuff. So they don't want to send you all the way across Canada. They'd rather use you in a close vicinity for Canada Day because the government's paying. To supply entertainment for the people. So needless to say, our Canada Day didn't really happen much. Or last year. It's sad. So have you ever heard of Lee Aaron?
No.
No.
She is known as the metal queen over in Europe. She didn't really get big in the States, but she rather did. Okay. Like, uh, she's put out a lot of albums, a ton of albums. Her career broke in like 1983, 84. Back in the days of hair metal, right?
Did she have any top hits or like a one-hit wonder type thing, or
Oh,
no?
hit after hit after hit after hit. What You Do to My Body, when gold in the States. So did Metal Queen. Metal Queen's from her first album. It's just that we have got a certain playlist up here in Canada that a certain percentage that go out on airwaves has got to be Canadian. Like for FM radio stations and television. Unlike the US. There are certain regulations in both countries, right?
There we go. Maybe.
All right, Larry, what the heck are you doing?
I'm trying to connect to Jen's computer. Jen, can you close Team Viewer and reopen it? X out of it, let it close completely. The Team Viewer, yeah.
So what are you trying to do inside of her computer?
I was going to check the microphone settings.
Oh, okay.
I don't show that it's open at all.
Must be open in the background then. Or just open it.
All right, hang on.
Travis is warning you, this is how people scam you. Yeah, just open up this program, ma'am, and let us connect. Don't worry, we'll disconnect afterwards, honest. We won't leave it open or put any viruses on, honest.
Okay, it's open.
Okay. There we go. Yeah.
Now I have Larry come with this computer and fix it all the time. It used to be his.
My old laptop.
And while I'm on, it's much faster than here can do it.
Wait, so is the computer you just got replacing the computer that you gave her?
No, I just put a desktop. My desktop computer took a sort of like a lightning strike a month and a half ago, and I've been using my housemate's old computer. Now this last year or a year and a half ago, I bought a new laptop, and I gave Jen my old one.
So have you got it sorted out?
Yeah, I sorted it out and did something to it. I blew either the motherboard or the CPU. So I bought a new motherboard CPU unit, updated, and then discovered that, oh, it needs DDR4 memory, and I only have DDR3 memory.
Oh, ugly.
Right. Oh, that's why you had some of the parts, but not all. Got it.
Yeah, you have to know your stuff, man, when you do that, man. Must have been a pretty old laptop for the laptop.
No, 3-4 years old.
Oh, okay.
Not too bad. But the new one's a gaming laptop, so it's a lot faster. Come on.
I prefer a desk. But that's good.
Closing up Discord and see if that helps.
However, I have some work to do. I gotta get dropped down and enjoy your evening, people.
Thank you for coming up, Chewy.
Chewy, thanks
Thanks,
for coming up.
She was
Good
having
night.
problems getting on at the start.
Wait, why?
She was having problems getting on right at the start. She was having problems hooking up.
Huh.
So I could
Yeah,
also.
it didn't go live, and it didn't go live.
Yeah,
Oh my.
yeah, it was like weird.
It was lagging. I don't know why.
So nobody else was around, so I hopped up as soon as they saw the link because she wasn't live.
Wait. So she was able to post.
Paste the link in it,
Huh.
and I put on the stream, and that's why, because it hadn't gone live yet.
Like I have a feeling that it's got something to do with streaming. Part of the problem.
Yeah, I think part of the problem was I probably shut it down when we left Terry's earlier today.
And due to the fact of what I saw, the problem that Jess and Chuck were having earlier, I was going, yeah, I have a feeling that it's streaming. Like it's not the best system that is out there, but it's the one that's easiest to learn. Okay?
Yeah.
OBS is the way to go.
Yeah, but OBS anyway. Yeah, I've been trying to learn OBS, but it's not. StreamYard is the easiest if you want to add other people to the stream. If you're doing a stream by yourself, by all means do OBS.
But it's not a balanced stream. That's the point. And that's how come you have to get so much crosstalk between all of the different Wi-Fi signals that are on. And when it breaks down bad, it breaks down real bad.
Yeah.
It's just a cheaper form of software that they're using to get people to live stream.
But isn't OBS also free, open source?
Yes.
But the only issue that I have with OBS is that OBS is very difficult because if I want to add and I want to have a co-host, I can't because I have to. OBS makes it really hard to have a co-host.
Yep. Now you have to know the software, right? And that's all got to do with how the software is built and the security system around it. You know, it's the same thing as Skype. Like a lot of your major television companies prefer to use Skype rather than OBS and screen.
Really, I noticed a lot of people like using Zoom.
No,
over-
no, I'm finding that like the media companies, like your television company, use Skype because it aligns better with their system.
Yeah,
Because they've got their own software too, right?
but again, you're not comparing apples to apples. I mean, StreamYard. The problem with StreamYard and OBS is OBS. You can do a lot more, but it's really hard to have somebody else up with you. Whereas on Skype and Zoom, you can pretty much do almost the exact same things
I
on
know
both.
they've simplified it, but the security of them are not as tight.
On Zoom, yeah, I agree.
Like
I
that's how come you get guys breaking into people's screens.
I agree, but what's the downside of using Skype over Zoom? The only downside of using the downside of using Zoom is it's not as secure. But they do the exact same thing.
Well, when you're working for a television company that's got all sorts of things on record, you're going to be needing that kind of security.
What I'm saying, Chewy, is with Skype and with Zoom, there's no real difference between Skype and Zoom,
No,
besides the fact that Zoom has inferior security,
yeah,
right? Whereas StreamYard and OBS has a lot more capabilities than Zoom
right.
than
But for security,
StreamYard does.
but for security wise, they don't have the same type of security as Skype, and that's how come the television companies use Skype.
For Zoom and Skype, I understand, but I'm comparing StreamYard and OBS to Skype, and I thought you were comparing Zoom and Skype to OBS or OBS and StreamYard.
Generally, OBS, StreamYard, Zoom are all insecure programs in comparison to Skype. Is what I know.
Wait, but can you stream from Skype?
Yes,
I can
I believe so.
stream
yes,
from Skype to YouTube.
yes,
Yes.
Really?
yes,
How?
through their program.
I did not think you could. Because I've got Skype. I just didn't realize I could do that.
Yep,
Well, now you know.
yep,
And knowing is half the battle.
exactly.
Because I much prefer.
And not against the other half.
The problem with Skype is getting multiple people on Skype at the same time, but you're more secure person to person that way than the other services.
Yeah, well, that's part of it too, though. It's the same as OBS, right? OBS, and the reason why StreamYard is nice is because it's all online and you can add people. Whereas Skype and OBS, it's really hard to add other people.
What I found being in the media is when you have more than, let's say, 3 people on a panel, it's very, very hard to do, even if you see them. On a radio show, it is very, very tough,
I need better.
especially on internet radio. You're not even in the same room as the guy producing your show, per se. Okay? So basically, as a host, I had to ask the question and then have the guest say, okay, back to the host, without having somebody jump in to clutter that space. Like a lot of these streams are talk over and talk over and talk over everybody.
Well, because you have too many people up on panel.
Exactly.
Right now, it's pretty much just you and me up on panel.
And Jen,
But they're not talking.
no, of
They're
course
not.
they're not talking.
They're not talking, and they're not talking right now, and they're really doing their own thing. So really, they're not even on panel. Whereas the two of us are talking and interacting. But if you have too many people up on panel, it makes it hard because everybody talks over each other, and especially when you get into like what eight around what more than 4 or 5 people, usually you talk over each other.
Exactly. And so that's why I'm saying Skype is used in that industry more, because you're only inviting one guest up,
Yeah.
usually. And sometimes there might be two. But that's all done through how the system is wired in television, right?
Wait, so if I wanted to, can I can add 2 people on Skype?
I've heard that it can be done.
Yes,
Huh.
you can. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't used Skype much. I've used Zoom a lot, and I've used, oh geez, what is
Skype
the
was
other?
actually the originator of video telecommunications.
So yes, but then why is it that everybody uses Zoom and StreamYard?
Because of money, because of a lot of other things.
Wait, what do you mean because of money? Skype? You don't have to pay for Skype.
You have to pay certain fees for Skype
to get the full features.
to get the full features. Yes.
Well, I mean, yeah, but the free version is not very limited. Like I think I paid for it, but that was only because I wanted Office Suite, and it cost the same amount whether I got Skype or not. But the only reason I paid for
Skype.
But the only reason I paid for Skype was to be able to call people from Skype to their actual phones.
Look at the corporation that owns Skype. You do know who owns Skype, right?
Actually, I don't.
Microsoft, I believe.
Microsoft.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is Microsoft. It is
Okay.
Microsoft.
So when Microsoft bought it out, they had to make it media friendly, because they knew that a lot of the television stations were using Microsoft. So
Yeah.
the whole design was around television and television security. The rest of them don't have that.
Sure. So then why is it that so many people use everything else but Skype?
The cost and the knowledge.
What cost?
The
What cost?
The cost and the money to run it. Like, to get all of the features, it does cost you money. Whereas a lot of people will just pay their $25 a month and stream forever using this format.
But I have to pay what? I still have to pay quite a bit for. I mean, you have to pay $25 a month, whereas
Exactly.
you have to pay for Skype.
Exactly.
You do. You still have to pay for Skype.
You have to pay for the bonuses of what your system needs, just like any streaming company.
Huh.
But I've seen more breakdowns through Skype. I mean, through this program than any other. When you have got the kind of talk back and all of that kind of stuff, of squealing noises and all of that sort of stuff, that is unacceptable in media.
Yep.
And sometimes it's hard enough to control with Skype. Kind of get the idea?
Yeah, I just didn't realize you had to pay for Skype.
Yeah. To get
Just like Zoom, you can get a free version of Zoom, which works. You can have a couple of people on for like 40 minutes, or you can pay for it to be able to get multiple people for unlimited time.
exactly.
Yeah, but I don't
Skype
need-
started the same thing. They're like, okay, you can do the basic face-to-face, cam-to-cam, or if you want multiple people, multiple things going on, pay up.
Yeah, sure, but I only really need two
See,
people.
it's a lot more easier for a television company to go, hello, Microsoft, we're having big issues. Can you have a guy on this right now? They'd be there right there and then.
Sean, what lettuce?
They
Hair
know
lettuce?
that they're dealing with a corporate account from the media. I don't know any corporate
Right above his head.
station that uses StreamYard or any of them. And like the breakdown that I hear of Wi-Fi signals, you get what you pay for.
That is true. That is very true.
Like when I was watching Jess's show, the guy couldn't even connect. That told me something was wrong with StreamYard.
Who couldn't connect?
Their guest today,
Oh, really?
yes.
Oh, is that why she? Yeah.
Yeah.
People say.
Yeah, and to me, that, like you booked a guest, and if you were a part of a radio station and your guest is having that kind of problem, you better have something to fill in.
Yeah,
I'm sure Jess
Wow.
handled it fine.
Well, like Jess handled it well. She brought up people onto the stream and all of that sort of stuff, but you're expecting that guest to be there.
Pure
well,
sugar,
I
baby.
mean, it makes it very tough, and it's very if you have talked to the person and arranged to have them on, and like you said, a lot of cases on radio, you do pay, you have them come on, and their time is valuable. It makes it really hard when you schedule it out and you can't do it because the program that you're using crapped out.
Yeah, and then you get into the streaming of bandwidth. Like, do you
Well,
know,
that's a
like,
whole nother.
128 is like CD quality, and so 96 is not like CD quality. 96 hertz basically handles voice alone. Skype can handle the higher bit bandwidth. StreamYard can't. I hear the difference when people play music through the streaming service.
Wow.
Huh.
Like you go to a file, like go and listen to it on somebody's actual, where it's being uploaded as an original video. You can hear the difference of you playing that video on a live stream. You hear the breakdown of the MP3.
Yeah.
Do you sort of see what I'm getting at there? So to
Yeah.
do like an entertainment show to bring up that kind of quality, you have to go to a higher quality service. Because all that StreamYard's really handling is voice.
Oh,
I mean, it does video, but not very well.
Well,
it
that's
does it good enough for what we need it for.
yeah. But the thing is we're talking quality here. That's how come Dan uses OBS from Dan's Fish. When he has a guest on, he has a guest on. When he doesn't, he doesn't. But at least the quality of the signal is always there.
But I thought, how do you get people up on OBS? Because you can't.
You
Right?
can. You can. You got to know what the service can do. Multi-Tank Addictions uses OBS. He's really good at it too. He's like fabulous at it.
But he doesn't have anybody.
Very good at it.
But he doesn't have anybody else up on his streams.
He's had people on his.
Does
He
he?
even has offered a phone line for people that do not have the ability to use it, but come on his show using a phone line.
Is that a free service, or is he what he's using a paid?
He's using like a paid, like little
Okay.
phone number that people can call.
No, I mean what he's doing on OBS. Is he paying for OBS?
No, because
I
the
think
OBS
he's
is
using the free
open source.
version. I think he's using the free version. I'm not
Okay.
too sure, but you could ask him.
Next time we see him, if we can
You
remember.
know, like you look at. I don't know if you know what's his name.
Oh, I know him.
The guy who's always on Pam's stream, like the
Bob
storyteller guy. I can't think of his name.
Bob Taylor's the only one that really goes on normally. That
Oh
is-
no, I'm talking about a guy who does not keep fish, but tells stories and plays games and all of that, and is a friend of Pam's, and has been up on her panel many times. I can't think of the guy's name right now, but he used to live in Texas, and now he lives over, and he's been in the Air Force. I can't think of his name, but he actually has a soundboard. You realize that, like, really good radio shows actually have got soundboards.
Yeah.
Okay? They're just not like a telephone, like phone this number on Blog Talk Radio. And then you hear it break up as soon as the guy comes on, and you're going, like, I asked you to phone me 10 minutes earlier so that we could go through this. Meanwhile, your producer is pulling his hair out because of 96, voice
Versus 128. Yeah.
Yes, it's like not a good way of doing it. If you aren't doing music shows at 128, you shouldn't be doing them. And
Well.
the more people that you have on the 96 bandwidth, the more likelihood of it breaking up too.
I remember downloading MP3s that had bad quality. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can't raise that quality.
Not that I ever download MP3s.
We all download MP3s. How do you think bands send out press kits nowadays? Do you
Oh,
think
nowadays it's all
it's
electronic form.
all it's EPK, electronic press kits, and it's the
Yeah.
same for radio shows. You have to send in your EPK for the producer to hear it,
Well,
or the station manager to hear your quality of your show. That's been going on for a while now on internet radio because they realize live can be a big issue.
I
You
don't
know what
listen to
I'm saying?
internet radio.
Yeah. But nowadays, bands are sending out what they call clear audio, which is 320 bits instead of 120
Right.
bits. It's like way, way up there. But even they can't be helped by the stream being streamed out at 96. Like you're only as good as what your stream is going to do.
Right. But we're getting there.
Yeah.
What's going on?
My audio is a lot, I think.
No, it's still breaking up. The hell. I would unplug
Oh,
that
just leave it.
headset, try and plug into the other side of the laptop.
I
Might be a
can't.
port.
The microphone or the webcam is on the side.
Do you have to have the webcam on?
No, I guess not.
Nope, still breaking up. Shit. Damn.
I think in some ways S is right, but in other ways I go money and service gets that little extra effort. Like some of these deals that Microsoft has made with various different corporations blows my mind.
What do you mean?
Well, buying out Skype. Skype used to be its own company.
Right.
Yeah.
They got big enough that that Microsoft decided to integrate it.
Exactly. Because they knew that it was a good system, and then they went, "Oh, okay, well, we'll do that, and now we'll service all of the television and radio market."
Hmm.
Because it's Skype the radio show hosts use the most. It's easy.
How about now?
Well, that part came in clear.
Okay, well, I guess I just can't have a camera and a microphone.
Sorry.
Don't need time anymore.
Or not have that headset. Maybe it's a headset issue. And you need to use the speakers. And just the onboard, the built-in microphone.
That's how it started. And everybody was saying it was breaking up. So I plugged in the headset. And they still said it was breaking up.
I was really impressed by your video with your killifish. You actually edited it very well.
I'm assuming you're talking to me.
Yes. Yes, I thought you did really, really well.
When you introduced them and showed everybody that you had them.
Yeah.
I've been trying.
Oh, you joined the AKA. Oh, wonderful. You'll learn a lot by being a member there, man. Just ask questions.
Yeah, but where do you ask? So I'm on the website and I can go on the AKA membership site, but like, so for the Sacramento and the San Francisco Aquarium Societies, when I become a member, I get access to a bunch of different things, whereas the AKA, it seems like I still have to buy all of those things.
Well, that you would have to deal with by contacting. Okay.
So if I go on to the AKA site,
Right.
I can buy a bunch of different things. I can buy all this information or this information on what is it? Let me go to it really quickly. There are videos on how to breed killifish, how to do all these things, which I would think I buy breeding killifish advice. Let's see, wild collections of killifish, uh, type like killies, color
But
atlas
there's
of cyprid donts of the world, and these are all like $20, and it's like
Yeah.
it just seems odd that
there's no place in there in the members area to ask questions, to post questions. They don't have like a bulletin board or anything.
They
I don't
used to. They used to. This is why, like I would be sending an email to like membership for, can you give me some instructions as to this and as to that? You know, like that kind of thing. Like, I know that all of these clubs have got other offers, okay, like
yeah,
video offers and all of that sort of stuff. You're
Right.
not going to get away from that, okay? Like,
Right.
a lot of work goes into doing those kind of videos,
yes.
okay? So, you know, like, basically, that going in.
Keep the speaker
But
on this.
the thing is that you become a member, so you want to know more about being a member of what you are and what you are not entitled to for extra money, right? Like those kind of things, like breeding and all of that. Those are very good instructional videos that are put out by members of that organization that have had hands-on for years.
Yep.
Like, it's a resource. Like, not everything in life is free.
Yes, but I am a member, and I don't see very many differences or anything. Like, there's nowhere to sign in or anything. So it just seems odd that like the only I don't know.
Well,
I guess
it's
it just seems,
how they run their site.
and I need to figure out what the benefits are because I know there probably are. I just don't know what they are.
If you look up certain things on killifish and then all of a sudden you're seeing things on Google saying American Killifish Association, and you click on it and the information is there and it's for free. That's what they offer.
But
Because you
but,
aren't going to find that on Seriously Fish.
but I don't have to. But I don't have to purchase a membership in order to get that.
No. Why you're purchasing a membership is for you to know from other people in that club and to be given the opportunity to get species of fish that do not come through the shall we say, the regular trade route. Like, not
Agreed.
a lot of killifish are out there on the trade market, and when they are, they're usually expensive.
Agreed. But I don't even see those on here, which seems odd.
Well, we're talking a time period where basically the world got shut down too, Kevin.
True. Very true.
Jen will be back. She's going to try and reboot her system.
I'm sure that Larry knows what I'm saying right there.
Yes.
You know,
What?
You don't learn anything without contact.
True.
So if you don't send an email to them asking more questions, it's not on them. You're a member. You're entitled to know what you are allowed and what you're not allowed. Right?
Yeah, now that you're a member, they're expecting people to ask.
Yes.
And there are a lot of other members that'll look at it and go, "Oh, hey, here's what we think."
Yeah. Like if you find yourself a mentor at the AKA, you've got a wealth of knowledge there.
Yep.
Like I have two of them. I actually know of like about four guys in the AKA.
Of course you do.
And two.
Surprised it's only 4.
Well, one's like Tony. Okay, no, it's due to the fact of the killifish that I'm interested in.
Got it.
Okay, the specific areas of killifish, and some of those specific areas of killifish, you have to go to the UN representative that is in the AKA to find out any information about them anyhow. But he's also like involved in cichlids, and that's why I know a lot about puffish. Okay. Oh. Dr. Paul Loisel is one of the leading ichthyologists from your government dealing with all of the puffish, especially some of the more endangered types. And if you look around, you will see some of Paul Loisel's pictures available for public use. Just credit him for using the picture. Oh, okay. We know that you took this photo, Dr. Paul. Right?
Yep.
I'm going to say that it's my photo. Why would I want to do that? You know, like they don't even let you close to the Devil's Hole. It's fenced off. The only people that have seen that are marine biologists that work for your government. Do you know what that means? It's all in public domain because they're hired by the government.
Welcome back, Jen.
Yeah.
Hello.
I didn't know. Hey, Jen.
Oh, that's clearer.
Yeah, but I still can't hear anybody except for very low through the computer.
Kind of get the idea there.
Well, instead of having YouTube on the computer and stream, YouTube on the TV and stream on the computer, switch them around. Put the StreamYard screen up on the TV and use its microphone.
I had it there, and everybody was having issues and problems.
Shouldn't be with the microphone.
I'm not hearing anything through the microphone. I'm not hearing the speakers through the headset. It's through the computer only.
Right. Well, now you're not breaking up.
And the computer has such a low volume, I can't hear.
Well, right now, try now that it's working good. Plug in the headset and see if it works.
The headset
Ah,
is plugged in.
Jesus, that was
No,
loud.
it's that I can't hear Chewy and I can't hear you really.
Even with the headset?
The headset is not giving me, Larry, the headset is not giving me any audio at all.
Hmm. Shit.
No, I'm just going to leave it the way it is and put my glasses on so I can read.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
Technology.
Tomorrow
Yeah,
night
fun
when you
issues.
stream, I'll come over after work and we'll try and make sure it works.
Come over before work.
Okay. And we can test it. I'm not proud or tired.
Yeah,
I think it's Travis's fault, but who knows?
that kind of work has never done that. You learn that.
Yeah.
Technology always screws up somehow.
I think I just need a better headset microphone type something. Probably just a better microphone.
Here.
That is the big difference between live and studio. In live, you have to deal with mistakes and technical issues. In a studio, you can correct anything.
Well, you don't put it out until you do.
Yeah. The advantage of pre-recording is what the radio stations and TV have been doing forever now.
Yep.
Hardly anything is live anymore. The only thing that's live
Yeah.
that I would watch on TV is a hockey game.
Yeah. Thank you for accepting the blame, Travis.
And I don't know how to flip the camera around on the laptop to not need the additional webcam.
So I'm sorry. Say again. To you want to do what?
Flip the camera so it's not taking pictures of me, but of what I'm looking at. The camera that comes with the laptop, not
It
the.
only has towards you. It doesn't have
Yes, see,
the
that's
other
the
side.
problem. So
Yeah.
unless I do it from maybe the tablet,
Yeah, but then you
Yeah.
can't keep it steady. Just leave it the way it is. It's fine.
no, I'm talking about future ones. Trying to figure out different ways to do it better.
Yeah. This is weird.
Okay, so Chewy, just in curiosity, if I want to be able to, I think I emailed you, but if I want to stream, or not stream, but if I want to take a video while I'm out and about, how is there a microphone or a headset, more microphone that I can use that will block out? I know that I can get headphones that will block out other outside noise, but are there any good microphones that will do that, or not
Yeah,
really?
they're called shotgun microphones.
Okay.
Okay, they can range from being very, very expensive. Okay, like have you ever been to a football game and you see the big microphone with the big round circular plastic thing around it, and it's very directional, and the guy points it at the field, and he's like pointing it right at this the play on the ground, and you can hear the conversation between the center and the quarterback above the rest of the noise, that
Yeah.
is known as a very good shotgun microphone.
Okay.
Okay, it's got a high resistance to noise. It's got high noise cancellation. So that is what you're looking at.
Thank
But
you.
there are microphones in that bracket that are kind of less expensive that can do the job.
When you're talking,
Basically, how they work, the other ones is it works on sort of like a gating system.
so when you say
It's pickup range.
so when you say expensive, do you mean like $100 or $200?
Oh, I'm talking
Then he's talking thousands.
Thousands. Well,
thousands.
yeah, of course it's going to be for those high quality productions. Yes, of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
but the microphone that I would use.
But I'm
Okay,
just saying, like, if I wanna record a video of me going out and traveling or doing something like that, and I don't want all of the background noise, instead of having
for
voice.
a very directional cancellation microphone is what it's called. Okay, the more
Okay.
directional that you can get it, the better off you are. Like a shotgun microphone has got a very, very wide range. Okay,
Got it.
as in it can pick up something straight across the field before it picks up the noise around it where you are. But for that kind of microphone, it's like thousands and thousands of dollars.
Got it.
But with one that is very directional and has got phase cancellation and all of that, you're looking at about $150 for a real good one.
Okay, that's not okay.
Okay?
Thanks, Chewy.
Yeah. I used them when I was like recording my friends' rock bands at outdoor concerts and stuff like that. Because it cut down on the noise of the big audience. But it meant that you would have to directly point the microphone at the speaker cab.
Understood. And of course,
Okay, it's what it's called off-axis cancellation.
wait, what is it called?
Off-axis cancellation. It cancels out the noise that is off the axis of where that microphone picks up. So that means you got to be more on the microphone than you are like pulled away from it and off to the side like I am. Like I'm not even in front of my microphone. Okay? Because I know of how wide open I have it for my voice. But it's got a high cancellation area as well. So it doesn't feed back. Kind of get the idea?
Yes, thank you. Huh.
Like the microphone that I'm using is like about an $80 microphone.
Okay.
Should be all charged up now.
And I don't have any of that feedback issues or anything else like that because I know that my voice, I'm talking louder than my speaker. Okay?
Well, you know how to project yourself properly.
No, I know the volume of my voice and the volume of my speakers. Like I can make you hear my speakers, but I'm sort of like at a volume as though I am talking to the same room you're like 4 feet away. I'm not pushing my voice at all.
Got it.
It also doesn't help that I'm a low talker to start with.
Yeah. So do you understand that now, Kevin?
What?
So do you understand that now, Kevin?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for. Anyways, yes.
Thank God.
It wasn't that long.
No.
What kind of plug-in do you need on the microphone? Do you need it to be like what kind of jack?
Well, it would probably be a 33 millimeter.
Oh, okay, like
It's
the little phone jack, okay? Is
Yeah.
that the type that you're looking for? Okay. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, mine cost me like about $150 out there when I was doing some recording onto disc. So, and it had rather good cancellation from about 200 feet.
Well, so my iPhone. So I have an iPhone, and of course, iPhones. They got rid of the iPhone headphone jack, so I'd need to use a Lightning to 3.33 millimeter headphone jack
Right.
connector.
Because the type of microphone also goes with the type of jack that goes with it. Your more
Yes.
expensive microphones that are meant for soundboards, your beginning costs on some of those are like $200 or $300 just for a standard everyday microphone.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Wait, a standard everyday microphone?
yeah,
A handheld that you stick in somebody's face.
yeah,
My wireless
yeah.
mic.
You can get it can be wireless or it can be wired. Like you're looking at what is normally known as like a Shure 58 microphone, which is very, very common for lead singers in rock bands because it is directional, right? Very directional, and it has got phase cancellation to prevent feedback. The more open your microphone is, the more feedback you can get, right?
Yes, of
So
course.
if it's omnidirectional, which means it picks up everywhere, okay, not unidirectional or bidirectional. If they are omnidirectional, it will pick up things behind the microphone, from behind it, like right at the back of it. What you want is like a unidirectional microphone with a tight access.
Got it.
Axis, okay?
So a 30. Okay, got it.
Like if I was using a mixing board, I'd be using a Strip 58. Instead, I've got like one of these microphones that it's got the typical plug-in that plugs into a computer. You can't think of it like it's sort of like an Ethernet cord, like that kind of plug-in.
Got it.
Yeah.
So plugins have also got to do with the quality of the microphone too, to some degree. Like your microphone that is used in music has got 3 prongs, okay? One means positive, the other one means negative, and the third one means ground. Okay? And the reason behind that is in some situations you have to lift the ground to get away from buzzes. Okay?
Okay.
And so in mixing boards and where you're having to balance things without noise and buzzes, that is the best input jack. Whereas like a input jack that's just a phono jack, there's no ground. So if you've got a buzz, how do you ground it? Do you get the idea?
Yes.
Yes.
The only way that you can ground it, those kind of things, is running a wire from the shield. If there's a metal shield around there, drive a wire to something that is grounded. Then you can get rid of the buzz that way.
Got it.
Okay? The things we know as sound engineers.
Well, that's why I thought I'd ask you.
Yeah. But that's how I would go. Look for one that's about 150 bytes per tuning direct note that has got good that has got good off-axis cancellation, and you're fine.
Okay.
Like, I don't expect you to go out and buy a shotgun microphone so that you can have an interview with a guy in football.
GRB.
I know, I saw that. With what? A tight what?
Anything else new in your fish room, Kevin?
Not at the moment. I'm hoping to get those super reds soon.
Yep. They are going to be mailed tomorrow. Which means, Larry, you got to get over here with the car.
When?
Tomorrow.
Wow.
Okay.
During times when the post office is open.
Okay.
Why?
Gonna be up
How
early.
is the postal service being affected in Buffalo? Out of curiosity.
Really hasn't.
Oh.
Our service didn't get affected too much at all.
That's kind of surprising.
Well, you're pretty close to New York, which is probably
You can't
one of
stand
the
up.
major airports for a lot of mail to come into the country. Right? I wouldn't want to work in New York sorting block. That's for bad.
Yeah, you missed Rex's debut last night, Larry.
I saw him.
He got up and looked right in the camera.
Oh no, I missed that.
He was
Aw,
looking
man.
right at it like, okay, and who are you?
Who was that?
My cat.
Our male cat.
Oh, okay.
He was being extra cute last night.
Oh,
I told him if he was going to get up there and show his butt, he had to introduce himself. So I got him to turn around and look right at the camera. What do you want to climb over here?
Yeah, lions can be vicious though.
Yes, they can.
All cats can.
Oh yeah, sometimes Rex gets it in his head that my cat looks like a deer going by and tries to latch on.
Yeah, I'm a dog person myself.
So am I.
I learned at a very young age that I was allergic to cats.
I like both.
Highly allergic to cats.
I'm
Right?
becoming more and more allergic, and that's a problem.
I never found that out until I dated a girl that had cats.
You're fine now, Jen.
Yeah,
And
that's what I
then,
said.
and then you go over to their parents, and your eyes are just full of water, and you're asked, "Are you allergic to
Oh,
cats?"
Jesus. Are you serious? When I went over to my uncle's house, I'd be in there for like 20 minutes and my nose would start running, my eyes would get all red and puffy, I'd start wheezing. It was bad. And they only had one cat.
It was so bad that she would have to come visit me instead of the other way around.
Oh, it was so bad that we had to sleep outside in a tent
Yeah, yeah.
in the backyard.
See, mine make me really itchy and make my eyes itchy sometimes, but for the most part, just walking through the house, I don't have a problem. It's just when they're on me for too long, or I think I'm more allergic to their dander and their saliva because
That's what
when
most
my
people.
male cat licks my arm for too long, it starts to itch.
It's the
Yeah, that's what most
saliva that you're
people.
allergic to. It's not the hair.
And I'm
Yeah, for
definitely
cats.
allergic to their scratches.
For cats, that's definitely true. I know my brother is when he touches either of the dogs, he starts itching.
Yeah,
He gets
which
very itchy when
means he's
he touches the dogs.
allergic to hair or the dander of the dog. Because a dog doesn't really lick itself like a cat does. Like a cat's always licking every hair on its body. Okay? And so as soon as it sheds a hair on you, nothing worse than Persian cats when you're allergic to them. And my girlfriend had 4 of them. And
Wait,
so basically it came down to the cats for me eventually.
Yeah, my parents would always say that they when they had because my mom had a cat, although she was allergic to the cat. She's allergic to cats as well, even more than dogs. And she's allergic to the two dogs, which I find hilarious. But anyways, so they always say that she had a cat, although it acted more like a dog, and she loved that cat. But when I started having allergies, she vehemently denied it. And then when we went away for a weekend and came back, cleared up, and then came back, and I started having allergies again. Um, they had to either get rid of. They had to. They couldn't have both of us, and my father always says that they got more takers for the cat. So they were stuck with me. Although I will say I was a very naughty child.
Where you know?
I'm not now, but was when I was younger. I'm not at
You're
all
so
naughty now.
old.
Thank you, Chewy.
sorry, but I have to say
Right, you aged out on that one, Kevin.
that. Yeah, like 18 is not old by any stretch of the
What the
imagination.
fuck?
No, I said I aged out of that phase.
Yeah,
I was more teasing, but you know.
Meaning he's no longer a child.
No,
yeah,
meaning I don't cause any trouble now.
meaning he's a teenager. And it's always good to remain one, too.
What was that part? What was that, Chewy? I couldn't hear you.
I said it's always good to remain as a teenager. Having your mind focused like that. Because once you do get old, it hits you hard.
Yeah, although I love it how people use the excuse, "Oh, I'm old," and it's like, "Oh crap! Well, I'm already there, so you know, what's it gonna be like when I get older?"
Well, the thing is,
Do you really want an answer to that, Kevin?
Thanks, not old.
Jen.
18 is not old by any stretch of the imagination.
I know it's not old, but when other people complain about things, and they use the excuse that they're old, I already have those issues. So what does that say?
It says you've got a
I
whole
get
lot more time to adjust to them.
Think of people that are much older than you to realize that you're not that old.
what was
It's
that,
much
Jimmy?
nice. Think of people that are much older than you are when you think that you are old.
No, what I'm
Nice.
saying is
He
people
has
who
what
are
he's talking about is like when people say, my eyes are bad, I'm old. And he's like, well, my eyes are already bad. What's it going to be like when I'm old?
Yeah, I understand it from the aspect of disability too. But the thing is you overcome disability.
very true.
And honestly, losing your sight at a younger age might be less traumatic because you you're able to have more of a period of time to adjust to it, and you're in a mind frame of being able to adjust to things easier at your age group than at an older age group.
Yeah,
At an older age group, you mourn the loss of it.
it's sort of like losing someone that you've been around for like 50 odd years of your life, like your parents, right? And realizing how much
Well,
they
I
meant.
find it I find it scary that my
I
my my dad's best friend that
we're
he knew since
Who's there?
Misty. Ow! Get
Misty.
off my neck!
he knew since college. My dad's best
Fuck
friend
daddy.
he's known since like middle school or
Okay.
college
Baby.
or sorry, middle school or high school. It's funny because or not funny, but it's scary that he still drives a he still rides a motorcycle, and he actually still rides a bike, but I think he crashed a few weeks ago, and
Uh
because
oh.
he's had or a few months ago, he actually his I think he had some issues with his retina, so he
Oh.
can't see very well. But he's still
Oh.
like riding the bike, and I'm like, oh geez, that's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With his vision, that's a little bit scary. I'm staying off the roads, that's for sure.
Yeah. That would be bad.
Well, that's good, Kevin. We don't want you on the roads.
I know.
They don't want me on the other roads either because of my disability, Kevin. Right?
Yeah, I remember you saying that, Jimmy.
You know, like it's impossible to get two things when you have what I have.
I think, yeah, it's a detached
One is a
retina.
scuba
Yeah.
dive ticket, and the other one is a driver's license.
Well, because of the seizures, right? You said.
Right. Right.
Yeah. And these darn halogen lights that are out there do not help.
Oh man, you can never tell. Are they keeping their brights on, or do they just have the halogens and they're just so bright? You're like, oh shit,
Yeah, I
it gets
know.
really bad.
Well, that's what you need when you're growing some of those coral.
No,
That's how come they came up with chillers because the lighting was keeping the tank so hot,
Right.
right?
I was just having a conversation with somebody the other day about the different types of lighting. And he was saying that right now, the only one who really uses the, oh, what is it? Oh, I just blanked on the name of it. Not halogens, not LEDs. Oh, it is halogen.
yeah, the blue halogens or
Blue halogens are really good for reptiles
Mm-hmm.
because they put off so much heat.
Mm-hmm.
Are you thinking about getting a reptile, and if so, what type?
No,
no.
I am not thinking about getting a reptile.
I am thinking of getting an axolotl
Your
for
roommates won't.
my
Your,
first official fish in my home. I'm thinking about an axolotl.
wait, I thought your roommates won't allow you to.
No, not that they won't allow me to. They thought that it was going to be too much of a problem. One housemate was like, "Oh, you don't have time to do all that stuff."
So
What the hell are you talking about?
you want to know what my favorite reptile is? Lizard?
What?
Sure, what?
A panther chameleon.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
If I were ever going,
Madagascar, and they're not even endangered. The
Cool.
lizards never got hit like the rest of the animals.
I want something like the cute little geckos from Hawaii.
Hmm.
The geckos or geckos or whatever they call them. The ones that can lose their tail and grow it back.
Yeah, every lizard can do that.
Yeah, that's a big lizard thing.
But these are like, they only get like 2-3 inches big and they're like a red color, reddish brown.
Chameleons are about that size.
So
Really?
those are the only kind that I want. Chameleons, they look like fun, but I don't know that I could keep care of it properly.
Yeah.
All that they do is eat fruit.
They eat fruit?
Yeah, they're a fruit eater.
Oh,
I thought they eat bugs.
Well, all lizards eat bugs, but they're a fruit insect eater. They're actually very.
they prefer fruit over protein.
Mhm.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. They're an iguana.
And yes, GRB, you're right, metal halide.
Yeah, but Jen won't let me get
And you may be
a big
right about
parakeet.
what that medical condition is that's causing problems with Kevin's friend. It may be a detached retina.
No, it is a detached retina.
And what I like about Canines is that they're slow. Have you ever seen them? It's like
Yeah. Yeah, I have.
Yeah, they move ever so slowly, so predators don't see them moving, and their prey don't see them moving because they move so slowly.
Yep.
Yeah, Jen won't let me get a bird, one of the big birds that like sits
Today's
on your shoulder that lives to like 80 years old because it'll outlive me.
We're too old to get a bird like that
Yeah.
unless we adopt an older bird.
Oh, come on, Jen. You if you can't take care of it at a certain age, just send it to me.
I am not going to live to be 130 years old.
Hey, you
Yeah.
take care of me. I'm old.
I agree.
Yeah, but you're supposed to be taking care of me.
I agree with her. You reach a point of your age when a bird can outlive you.
Yeah.
Like it's one of the things about the big birds that
Yeah, the African
Yeah.
greys.
make me interested in them was because of their life cycle. It's longer than mine. So are tortoises, like the big tortoises, like the one from the
Yeah, tortoises are another one that live longer than humans.
Solitary George.
smaller
We
ones.
went to the Galapagos and we actually saw them. That they're big.
Oh yeah.
They live to
They
be
get
like
huge.
200 years old.
Yeah, I plan to live forever,
Yeah,
but 200's pushing it
yeah.
because forever is not going to last 200 years.
hmm Age and size of enclosure has always put the idea of do I want an animal, right? Like
Yeah.
there isn't very many 2 foot long fish that I'm interested in, right?
Yeah.
Because I know how much money it's going to cost me to keep the animal in an enclosure, and then I also know how much it's going to cost me to feed them.
Yeah. Affording to keep care of any pet, fish, cats, dogs, horses, birds, lizards, anything. You have to worry about vet bills, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jen had a cat a few years back that got sick and brought him to an emergency vet. Wanted $2,000 to keep him for a couple of days and
Oh, geez.
try and
Yeah.
figure out what to take care of.
No. So
And
one
it
of
was
my aunt is a vet or was a vet, and she said that like if the bill was over 200 or I think it was like 200 or something like that, she there are many people who just say, it's too much, it's too expensive, I'll just get a new one.
no God. No, I got him down to 1,000. They kept him for a few days, and then basically he was having a blocked urethra, and they were like, "Oh, he needs special surgery," and we don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
There were only 3 vets in the Western New York area who do it, and the one that we were able to find works for the SPCA,
Mm-hmm.
and they basically said you have to turn the cat over to us and sign him over, and we'll do the surgery for free, and then put him out to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Let somebody else take care of him. I was like, I just dropped $1,000 4 days earlier, and we
Well,
still have to
that's
just
because
give him away.
he was going to have to be on a special diet for the rest of his life to make sure he didn't have the problem again.
Yeah, but even still, we weren't allowed to keep him. It was if you want him to get the surgery, you have to sign him over.
Oh yeah, they had no way to arrange for us to get a
Get it back.
payment plan for the surgery.
Hmm. A lot of that goes through the SPCA. You know, like when you're disabled or an older person, I understand that problem. Even when your animal is attacked by another dog.
Yeah, it's like, okay, sign him over.
Yeah.
It's not my fault that he got hurt. What are you talking about?
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
so Jen had to sign him over, and he got the surgery, and he went to another home.
My roommate fought it with the SPCA to the point
Yeah,
of
he was rehomed within a week.
Yeah,
second opinion on the animal
he was a beautiful cat.
through another vet
Well, he looks just like rats,
turned backwards on
Yeah,
the
only
SPCA.
bigger.
a lot bigger.
What is that, Chewy?
The situation that I know of is my roommate's dog, and the SPCA vet wanted to put down the animal.
Yeah,
So we went out and got a second opinion, and that's all that we needed by law.
yeah.
Sure enough, the vet is going to fix him, but my roommate has to pay over a certain payment plan.
Ugh.
What kind of fairness is that to people that are poor? That's what SPCA are supposed to look at, help look after. Sure, they'll give you some food every now and then.
Well, the thing is you're not abusing the animal. The animal came down with a medical condition, and vets don't offer a payment plan. And they really need to, because these surgeries are extremely expensive. Nobody has that money in their budget for their animal.
Well,
They have the money in their budget for the routine care of an animal, but not for an expensive surgery.
well, think of surgeries that are done on an expensive toy.
Yeah.
You think that those cost nothing? The vets make their money, man,
Oh yes, and then some.
regardless.
Well, to be fair to vets, they actually do go through a lot more schooling than a regular doctor does.
Well, the issue is when you hear we want to put down your dog, and then you go for a second opinion, and that vet disagrees with that vet. There's
Yeah.
the issue. What is the SPCA vet telling you that the dog's got to be put down? Meanwhile, another vet that has got a better reputation says, no, this dog is fixable, and I will help you fight this.
Yeah, the vet at our local SPCA, the one who did our cat surgery, um, he does not like to put animals down.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
doesn't suggest that unless it's literally a terminal thing.
well, we'll fix it up and we'll take the animal from you and we'll give it to
Right.
somebody else.
Yeah.
What is that idea? That's the exact kind of thing that I'm talking about.
Okay, I have to lie down. My shoulder and my
Yeah,
hand
you
are killing
haven't
me.
had your arm in the sling. I meant to say something when you came on.
Yeah.
The only time that the SPCA makes an exception is if it's a service.
Yeah, I think we're only going to go for another, what is it?
Let's go for 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 a.m. is late enough, and if you're gonna make me get up early.
After we did 5 a.m. last night, yeah, 4 a.m.'s late now.
Did you know that the SPCA was trying to get the Siamese fighting fish banned from Canada?
Good. As long as they don't try and stop the betta fish from coming in. I know, same thing.
That's
Same
what
thing,
they
I know.
like to do.
I was kidding.
Yeah. Because they don't realize that not everybody keeps them in cups like they do in these pet shops, and that's what they're protesting.
Yeah.
Now, see, I didn't think chimpanzees should be eating hamburgers. GRB. Huh.
It's like KG Tropicals once they started selling bettas. They showed they're keeping all these fish in a nice size. Uh, each one is in like a gallon and a half, 1.5 gallon box. It's not little cups,
Mm-hmm.
But they also
but they
made a
have hundreds
point
of them.
of saying, we are sellers. We don't keep these
Right.
fish as long as they're life and they need it. Well,
Yeah.
they should have at least 5 gallons or more.
No, the 2 to 3
That's what
gallon is fine.
that's what they say. That's what all the literature they send you says when you buy from them.
Well, in the case of Siamese fighting fish, now here is kind of the argument of it. When Thailand goes through its dry period, those little fish can end up in like little puddles, like the size of the cup.
Yeah.
Um, the problem is when people say, "Oh, they live in puddles." Yes, they do, but those puddles are miles long. They're puddle deep, but miles long.
Oh, well, not exactly true. During the dry season in Thailand, it dries down to like a little puddle that might be the size of a cup. During the wet season, that pond can be actually quite big.
Yeah.
And that is very true with all of the species of Thailand, or a lot of your rainforest areas. They go through swamp periods and they go through dry periods.
Now, see, I've had problems where some bettas actually dislike being in bigger tanks. They get scared.
Exactly.
There's too much for them to try to control, and they have a nervous breakdown pretty much.
Mhm. But generally, I will agree that 5 gallons is a good area for a betta to survive its life.
Right. Well, most people say 5 gallons because that's the
Supplying,
smallest tank really for a cycle.
basically, what you are doing is supplying them a home outside of their own environment.
Right.
You are averaging out the water that they would probably see for their own territory on a smaller scale. Like when over where they are from, you will have your dominant male splendids, but you will have a whole bunch of male splendids in the same pond that is just huge during the rain season. But,
Yeah. But
but
there's enough room for them to get away from each other, and for the most part.
exactly. But when it dries out, that's how come you will find that they do well in a little cup because that is what happens in their
Yeah, because they can survive that environment.
exactly. And there you got the SPCA that does not know nothing about their own environment, just judging off of the fish that gets sent up in the cup that are put out on your pet shop shelf.
Well, I think the SPCA needs to stop running on a rules and regulations basis and actually take things on a case by case basis and look at the actual health of the animal. Because they have so many rules right now on what they consider to be healthy treatment of animals.
Yeah.
And you can do it a different way and it's still okay and that animal is still healthy.
Mm-hmm. But generally, I will agree, a 5-gallon tank is very much a paradise for a betta
Oh, yes.
to live its whole life in. But in real nature, it isn't that way.
Right.
And that was the issue. So when I sent them talking about banning the betta, you can bet I sent the IBC representative in Thailand that I know what they were saying, and he went, "They really don't know about our fish, do they?" And he was going, in the dry season, you can find them in a little pool about the size of a cup. It's a part of their environment.
Yeah, the natural life cycle.
Exactly. It's sort of like the rains of the the Rio Negro.
And just like the
Because
gobies and the desert gobies that walk and have to wait for the rains to come again.
Mhm. Yeah. But I'm talking about just that one species. So the SPCA is looking at how the pet industry handles it without realizing what that fish goes through in nature.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They're judging it definitely on the retailers and how they're treating the fish.
Mm-hmm.
And they're so poor quality and so poorly kept.
Mm-hmm.
No wonder they're cracking down.
Mm-hmm. Thing is that they couldn't crack down on it anymore. They had an expert from Thailand telling them no, and the government agreed.
Yep.
Yeah, I have little patience with the SPCA. They remind me of PETA.
Yeah.
Greenpeace is different.
Well, that's GRB is saying PETA website has warning to not buy betta fish ever.
Mm-hmm. Bingo. Where do you think the SPCA gets its information?
Well, that's a whole nother discussion I don't have time for tonight.
Well, I answered it. It's the SPCA and PETA are basically almost the same type of people.
It's like people just aren't happy not being regulated. Somebody feels the need to jump in and try to regulate everything.
Should be trying to regulate an animal that cannot survive in our waterway. That's up to our government. not
Yeah.
the SPCA. And the government has got no problems with us keeping metas.
That's right, because they let them come into the country, so they have no problem with it.
Exactly. And there's no vet certificate needed vets, unlike guppies. You know the reason why, right?
Well, everybody, it's time for us to end for the night. Thank you so much for coming up, Chewy, and getting me started and finishing tonight with us.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Kevin, thanks for making it.
I apologize
Lori,
for
as
being a little bit late.
always, thank you.
Everybody,
Tina,
don't forget to
Booty,
hit the
Everyone
like.
a little bit late, but thank you.
Travis, Jess, Jenny Lynn, Ian,
GRB, Travis, Sean,
Danny,
you kids stay out of trouble. And don't forget to hit that like button.
and all the people that I've forgotten to say thank you to. Thank you for coming to the stream tonight. Hit the
Danny,
thumbs up on the way out, please. And everybody have a great day. Stay safe. People are still doing off those fireworks, so be careful.
And thank you, Shanna, for coming on in too.
Oh, yes, Jana. That was another one. Yes, thank you so much.
take it easy.
Have a great night,
Good night,
everybody.
everybody.
Night,
Bye.
kids.
Bye.